Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Test Chamber. I am Andrew Reiner, today joined by Jeff Cork.
Hi.
For a brief look at Disney Infinity 3.0, or what they maybe should have called it, Disney Infinity : Star Wars.
Yep.
That is the big focus of this year's game. As you can see, we got Luke Skywalker, who's a figure on the portal right now, riding a bantha. A bantha is something you can actually put in your toy box, which is very cool. So this set we're looking at here is... Luke actually doesn't hit store shelves until September 29th. But if you buy the Saga collection, which comes with all the Star Wars stuff, you can get him now.
That's the PS4 exclusive?
Yeah, and it also has Boba Fett.
Toys from the toy store.
And we are in the new Toy Hub, the Toy Box Hub, which is very tutorial-based, kind of shows you where everything is. Everything's nicely organized. You know, in the past games, there's been a lot of problems with just trying to figure out where you're at, what you need to do.
And we reached a point, too, where there's just so much stuff.
Yep.
To kind of guide players into, like talk to him, you learn about combat, for instance. And
yes.
There's, guides that will teach you about platforming and building and all that stuff.
And so we're going to go over here real quick. So these are new additions. Here is the Disney Infinity Theater. This will allow you, when we're online, to go and look at what other players have created.
Yep.
And then this Flynn's Arcade from Tron will hook you up with other players, matchmaking. It's a new matchmaking service, so you can learn this, how people are doing stuff in the toy box a lot easier this time, or see stuff people have made a lot easier. But let's jump into one of the first big sets here. This is the one that comes with the game. So we're going to actually switch characters. I'm going to take Luke off here and give you a look at what Luke looks like. Very nice figure. Looks a little bit like a cartoony Mark Hamill. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take the horrible Hayden Christensen Anakin Skywalker here. But he's actually a pretty good character in the game.
Yes.
And he comes with the game. He comes with Ahsoka.
Yep.
And going in the center of the room here gets you your toy box. We have the Twilight of the Republic on the portal right now, and we're going to go to it after a short break. So we're on Tatooine as Anakin Skywalker in the Twilight of the Republic set. Jeff Cork's playing the game right now.
Yeah.
Picking up Jawas and punting them. Oh, cool. He actually interacted with that springboard up there. Lots of fun here, lots of variety in the missions, and yes, there's a lot of collecting, and collectathons or, tasks where you have to gather 3 items and bring them to a certain location. But there is a lot of fun to be had in the combat, which has been revamped by Ninja Theory, and the racing, which is done by Sumo Interactive, or Sumo Studios. They, both of those mechanics in this game are a lot better than we've seen in previous Infinity games. And Jeff's looking for some hidden loot here. Oh, if you shoot that Minoc, there's 100 Minocs in each of the Star Wars sets. And they unlock different things for your toy box and maybe jump. There you go, you got them.
Okay, good.
So we got 13 of them.
So this is going to be a long test chamber.
Yeah, right? Let's get them all. But lots to talk about in this game. So the core set comes with Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka. But you can also buy Yoda and Obi-Wan, the Clone Wars era ones, for this set. You can also use Rebels characters in this once you find those unlockable tokens in the environment. Mm-hmm. And they're not well hidden. You'll stumble upon them pretty quickly as you play through the adventure. Why don't you hop in the land speeder there? Any vehicle you see can be piloted. And it ranges from a lot of different things from, Clone Wars...
I'm a really great
starships, like Anakin and Obi-Wan had in Revenge of the Sith, to speeders like on Coruscant. You got the land speeder here on Tatooine. Dewbacks you saw at the beginning. And then in the classic trilogy game, which is probably the best place that they've done for Infinity, which unfortunately doesn't come out until September 29th. Unless you buy the Saga collection, which is comes with everything, but it's expensive. I think it's like $115. And I think you also get Boba Fett.
You get Boba Fett. That's a PlayStation exclusive.
And
oh boy!
No!
What happens there? Okay.
It barfs. Yeah, grab a box and throw it in there. it just constantly barfs. Like, it can't keep anything down.
Okay, well, we'll keep this guy in there.
But why don't you go into your mission menu? I've completed this play set, but we're going to bring up a mission for you to see, just kind of.
What do you recommend?
So there's pod racing where you're actually in Anakin's.
I don't want to do that.
Let's see.
Oh.
Do Statues of the Hutt.
Statues of the Hutt. All right.
So hit replay. So we need to sculpt statues of Jabba.
Okay.
So there's one over there you can see.
Oh, I can't see. Oh, there it is, right there.
And there's nice waypoints. They tell you where everything is. The map also helps you. But I had a lot of fun with this set. And you could do it co-op, just 2-player, local.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh la la, Jabba. Looking good.
La-di-da.
So the next one's over there
Yep.
at 90. So Anakin has a dash, so you can do double jump. And then a dash on top of that, which is kind of cool. And then if you hold down the attack button, you can do an uppercut into a very Devil May Cry-esque combo. And if you have a guy that has a pistol as well, like Ezra from Rebels or Luke Skywalker, you can launch an enemy in the air and then stay on the ground, and then you fire laser blasts up at them to juggle them in the air, which is, again, very Dante-esque. And we'll be done with this in a second. Look at all the little creatures. A lot of nice little details. Coruscant has them as well. After this, I'm going to have you go over to the spaceport real quick.
Okay.
I think that's it, right? Did we do it?
They're made
All done.
All done.
There we go. And there's a new star system here you saw in the mission menu. I've already gotten all 3 stars. But a lot of times you'll get 1 star or whatever, so there is some replay here. And go rate... Let's see, is that the starport? Oh, I think it's going to boot you back where you were.
Okay.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Let's go look for the starport real quick.
All right, where do we...
You can see it on your hub there. It's like a little arrow inside a building. So you want to...
So I'm walking all the way around it, basically? Is that what's going on
Yeah, I
here?
don't think you're going to be able to get there from here.
Son of a gun.
Well fortified.
Ah! There we go. They thought of everything.
Except
This
the,
guy straight ahead?
Except the broken DirecTV dish. Yeah, there you go. So go down there, use that terminal. And so it's not just Tatooine or Coruscant. Hit the star map and just kind of scroll through here. So Tatooine Space, Geonosis,
Sorry. Got really excited there.
Naboo.
Oh,
But
fun.
then I think Coruscant, if you flick up, I think each one of these has... there you go. So you have space. So why don't you go to any space thing here
All right, let's go to Tatooine Space.
and hit square. And away we go. I don't remember the name of that droid. R4 maybe?
That sounds great.
Is that
love it.
Obi-Wan's?
Probably.
I have that as a salt and pepper shaker at home. I have an R4 that Chet Barber, a former Game Informer employee, got me from Japan. But then for Christmas one year, I got an R2-D2 one. So we use those as like salt and pepper. So here's space. There's not a lot here. The controls are a little clunky. As you can see, the targeting reticle is the size of a small moon.
Yep.
It's gigantic. So a lot of freedom there in errant laser blasts are going to land.
I've got kind of like a Star Fox thing going on my right stick. I'm doing all my rolls and dodges. And it's interesting because you're not in like 360-degree space. If I'm moving up and down on the analog stick, I'm just ascending and descending.
Right.
So-
Yeah, the controls are a little weird.
I think they
and-
wanted to keep it a little more accessible for younger players who might be thoroughly confused. At
Right.
least that's what I'm assuming.
They
is
need to
happening.
learn, man. Like, going to space, it's going to be tough. They need
Yep.
to know that.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's a little disappointing. But that is a kind of a brief look at the Twilight of the Republic set. Again, I had a good time with it, Jeff. You and I played some co-ops, some split-screen co-op, and tackled a lot of missions. You can have a bunch of missions going at once. Yeah, we had a good time with that. But let's move on to the classic trilogy one. All right, so we have Chewbacca on Echo Base on Hoth, and this is a really good set. I really had a blast with this. It has a lot more charm than the Clone Wars set. The story's ridiculous because it's kind of an alternate take on what happened at the beginning of A New Hope and moves all the way through Return of the Jedi. But the alternate take is, what if Obi-Wan Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Luke, R2, and C-3PO were on the Tantive 4 when Darth Vader and the Star Destroyer captured it, and they, were rocketed down to the planet in escape pods. It's kind of how it starts. So it's like they all knew each other already, and they just kind of gloss over all the stuff where they meet in the cantina and all that stuff.
Why not?
But you have snow speeders, you have AT-ATs, AT-ATs. I don't know what people end up calling them. I call them AT-ATs.
They're AT-ATs.
Tons and tons and tons of little details here that are, very true to the movies. You could tell the team had a blast making this. And why don't you go into the skill menu? Much like the kind of disappointing Marvel game of last year, every character can be leveled up. So you have 7 skill points for Chewbacca. I've already given him his special, which is on the R1. Every character has a new special on R1. But you can apply different points. It's always good to do the combat and health. Although death really doesn't mean much in this game. It's not an evil game like Skylanders kind of is, where they want you to go through figures, so you buy more figures.
Yeah.
The difficulty is very lax, kind of going back to that, user-friendly stuff you were talking about there. Another thing is, power discs return as Jeff's going through here, but they're no longer in blind packs anymore. So here's an example of one of the blind or the packs that you can get, and you see who you get, so you can kind of pick what you want now.
That's a tremendous relief because I don't know how many of Carl's canes I have from Up. I have like 3, I think. So maybe I do know how many I have.
So there's Echo Base over there. I don't think the Empire's out here yet. There's Tauntauns you can ride. Why don't you go to the mission menu, and we'll just try another one again.
All right. What do you recommend?
Let's do the Tauntaun training track. We couldn't actually get replay the Tauntaun riding, so this is a new one where probe droids are sent down from the Star Destroyer that's in orbit, and Chewbacca needs to take them down.
All right. And I can get on a Tauntaun.
You can if you see one, yeah. Oh, here, go talk to this guy. This is the building thing I was talking about, that this droid here. So here's the different things you can do. You could build a hangar, which I've already done. You can see these check marks here. Garage, workshop, blah, blah, blah. But then there's these different things down here, like the droids up there, droid custom packs, and then these other, just a ton of things you could put in there, and then unlockables.
I really want to spend all your money, but I won't.
And nothing from Force Awakens yet, but that will be coming.
That is coming, okay.
Yeah, they've shown at the Disney D23, I think it was this year, the Disney convention. They showed Finn and Rey's characters, 2 new characters that are going to be in Force Awakens. So here they come. A lot more variety in the play sets this year. Very true to kind of what was in Disney 1.0 with like the Pirates game that had a lot of variety with the ship sailing and stuff like that. And if you didn't play Marvel last year, it was kind of a slog. There was not a lot of enemy variety, a lot of repetitive missions, really basic open world design, and navigation. Like there's just times where you had to run on foot, or you had to put the Hulk on like a motorcycle to get around. It was just really weird. All
Yeah,
right.
the shooting is a lot better too.
And you see those Minox on the walls? Those are collectibles. There's one right behind you if you want to shoot it.
I would love to shoot it. Where is it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Good day.
Sucking the juice out of that generator. And Chewie just leveled up, but we don't
You're
need to
welcome.
go back in there. But I'm going to show you now. So that's a brief look at what's kind of offered in the classic trilogy set here. Let's show you maybe the best part of the game, or the best addition that I didn't expect, which is the Toy Box Takeover.
All right.
So some of the coolest new characters are from Tron. Here's a look at one of the figs. They're very powerful and allow for a lot of variety of combat tactics in the game. So we're putting in this figure here, and
Jesse with me?
yeah, you have Jesse
All
with
right.
you. So this is a new thing in the game. It's Sidekicks, and they will attack enemies with you if you want to go to any one of these stages here.
All right.
And you can level them up by feeding them food.
Yep.
You also collect loot for them. And there's difficulties here. Why don't you go hard? Yeah.
Let's do it.
And the cool thing is these are just meat grinders of just throwing enemies at you and making you want to level up your characters. It's such a cool little diversion, and it's all from this kind of top-down isometric Diablo-esque view.
They tried to do something similar with that escape the kiln mode.
Yeah, last year, but it wasn't so great.
Because they didn't tune the enemies, and they took the same amount of damage to destroy as in the game proper, and it was just entirely too much.
Right. And but this is really nicely balanced and a lot of fun. The thing about the Toy Box Takedown is it combines Star Wars, Disney. Yeah, we did hard difficulty. Star Wars, Disney, and Marvel all in one playset. So you'll see things like, Star Wars characters taking on Venom's characters, and then, Spider-Man's villains, and then like Minnie Mouse taking on Stormtroopers, weird stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, but it is just, you're getting worked. Some of these guys are lower level. Let's see.
That's a level 0 guy. I'm gonna blame it all on that. Who's your best guy? Don't pick that.
We'll pick Obi-Wan.
All right, here we go.
But yeah, seems like it's more for, gamers that really want a challenge, especially when you have the extreme difficulty option. And if you hit L1 when you're in trouble, your sidekick will heal you.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, sorry. So you can do it now. Oh, hold for finisher. And you leveled up, so you didn't need it. And you can see he's collecting sparks. The blue ones are for purchasing stuff from the toy box. We'll show that off in a little bit. And then gold is experience. Purple is for your super, which is on R1. And it's too bad the Tron guy's dead because the super he has is super cool.
You have to take your word for it, I suppose.
Yeah. Believe me.
It would have been amazing.
I would say that's probably... Oh, there's some food. So go ahead and... I think you hit... Oh, no, it's not hold down triangle. One of the buttons will get you into that menu. Maybe it's options.
Let's see.
And sidekicks, there you go.
All right.
So you can see all the little guys. The one I've leveled up the most is the Star Wars character with the horns.
This guy?
Yeah, so you can see he's 19, 21, 19. He's got some cool weapons on him. You could feed him.
Let's feed him.
Pizza.
Give him some luck.
So he goes... and then if you hit go back and then hit gear, triangle button, you can see all the collectibles stuff that you can put on them. Those are the helmets, and then there's weapons if you hit down, I believe. Up or down when you're in gear.
Oh.
There you go. And all sorts of different weapons. And they need to be certain levels to use some of it. So you'll get something like level 18, but you might be like a level 10. And you got to level them up more.
More pizza.
Yeah, all these things. And this is the best. You could also farm stuff in the toy box itself, like actual farming. There's a collectible star if you want to grab it. There's stuff hidden in the environments. All right. We don't need to go pick up that collectible. Let's just move back to the toy box. Okay, we're now in an empty toy box. You can also start with kind of a default randomized like racetrack or city or an interior. You can, again, make houses and stuff like that. Which is very cool this time because you get Star Wars stuff, so you can put like Han and Carbonite in your house, or have like a Darth Maul rug, a kind of the pattern of his face. But go ahead and hit the. We're on PlayStation 4. Go ahead and hit the. There you go.
The giant
store.
button.
And
Just toy dispenser. That's one of the new things.
Yeah, that's a new thing. So you just get random toys that you can get stuff that you haven't even purchased yet, which is kind of cool for playing purposes. All right.
Yeah, seem better.
There we go. So there you go. So there's a new pattern.
Those are like
and
vehicles?
patterns you could get if Jeff wants to go into hit the options button. Yeah, there's vehicles, and then go down to the toy store.
All right.
And go to World Construction Toys. No, go back. Go to that one. Yeah, set pieces.
All right.
And then let's see.
What do you want?
Go into... Actually, I'll take the sticks
All
here.
right.
We'll just go into one.
You're the expert here.
So Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. All the stuff from the previous games carries over and can be in your toy box. But you can see here's all sorts of Tatooine stuff that you can buy and build your own Mos Eisley if you want. There's Coruscant stuff, Hoth stuff. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff in here. I found it to be a little light on what was offered for like vehicles and stuff like that, which I'll show you here right now in our menu. And it's a little confusing still where everything's at. Some of it's labeled really well. Other times you'll buy something and be like, well, where does this go? So here's the Ghost from Rebels, X-Wing. We could put all these things in our playset and interact with them. But there isn't a lot of, there's all the big stuff you would recognize, but not a lot of the little stuff. And a lot of the stuff you see in kind of the main game, you don't necessarily get here as options for building. And you won't be able to make, a Mos Eisley that looks as good as the one you saw in the playset that we were in. Mm-hmm. But building's very easy. There's new pathing tools. So if you want like NPCs to walk on paths, you can do that. You can, put down as many Tauntauns and all that stuff if you want. And let's see if we can find a certain character here to end our episode.
Oh,
a little Jar Jar
favorite
Binks.
guy.
Wow, listen to those Tauntauns. See how many Jar Jars we could put in the world.
You've already put way too many.
Somehow, the writers at Avalanche and the studios involved made Jar Jar even more annoying than he is in... Okay, there's our animation limit. So let's go interact with these guys. Oh my god. They made him more annoying than he was in the movies. There's a rail sliding sequence where he's just like, for far too long. And you can pick these guys up. You can torture them however you want. And, you can jump and punt them off the face of the planet.
God, you're playing as Disgust from Inside Out, and that's absolutely the appropriate emotion.
Let's go this way. Let's take Ezra. Let's see if we can use these guys as enemies. I doubt it. Oh, no, you can.
Ooh, but are you able to actually destroy them?
That's a good question. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like...
Gungan skin. Oh, God. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Oh, he's not doing well.
Oh, boy.
You're not liking it?
It's not great. Oh, wait.
Let's get in. And can we just kind of fly along the surface here?
Yeah, do some Jar Jar bowling.
Oh, no, they get caught. That's disappointing. But that's Disney Infinity 3.0. I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. I would say it's the second best in the series. It's obviously better than the last game. Maybe not quite as good as the first one, or, like kind of that sheen that was there the first time. Mm-hmm. That, the wonder of it, playing with it the first time isn't quite as great now, but the toy box is fantastic. As you can see, there's a lot of fun that can be had here. You could do this 4-player co-op online, just the toy box. And, it's fun to interact with the Star Wars stuff and do different things with that. And here's just one last thing real quick. You can pick your magic wand. And then theme the environment with Tatooine Desert. Sports fan. There's all sorts of stuff. Echo Base. Put Jar Jar on Hoth. Have that be his fate. But thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you, Jeff, for playing and helping out. And thanks to Wade Wojcik in the control room. We'll see you next time on Test Chamber.